Well, I mean, first and foremost, I want to say it's unacceptable to come out and play that way early, and we got to do a much better job taking care of the football, giving ourselves an opportunity to stay in the game. We're one of three phases. We got offense, defense, and special teams, and the biggest thing that we talk about every week is making sure we have great ball security and winning the turnover margin, and just put ourselves in a really unfortunate spot early on. And once you get in a spot like that, we weren't able to, dig ourselves out of a hole. And so, again, hate it. It's unfortunate. It's unacceptable. We have to be much better. I have to be much better. I'm going to continue to fight to do that.
Seth, how did you feel about the game plan going in? When you see South Carolina, what they have on the edges, just your thoughts on the game plan, what you matched up?
We knew they had a really good defense. Obviously, had a lot of length. Really physical team. Thought they played extremely hard. Played downhill, but I still felt like we had, we had the speed advantage at some areas to where we could create some matchups and, have some explosive plays. But again, a good football team, and I felt good about the game plan. I felt good about, where we could gain some advantages. Just weren't able to take advantage of it.
Sorry, Seth. When it's 21-0 in the first quarter, they've scored 2 defensive touchdowns and a third on a short field. How does that change your game plan, your approach, your philosophy moving forward?
It's a challenge. You got to try to get them settled in, right? And quit allowing us to beat ourselves. And so where do we get that back to comfortable, back to ground zero, and just start chipping away, just trying to make one play at a time, one drive at a time, one score at a time. You're not going to get it all back in one drive, in one quarter. And really just continuing to try to put them in the situations that they're comfortable and where we can have some success. Just weren't able to do it, and we got to be much better.
Seth, you gave up on the offensive line 9 sacks today, so trying to call plays, you're having trouble protecting your quarterback. Talk about that dynamic as well when they have such a good defensive line, I know, but you guys got to protect better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's all unacceptable. We have to play much better all the way around, whether it's running the football, throwing the football, protecting, making decisions at the quarterback position, at every position. So, again, and I hate it because I'll tell you, the thing I hate it and the thing that hurts me the most, I would say, is these guys work their ass off. They do. They come to work and grind and fight, and they love each other, and they stick together. And what hurts is when they don't go out and have the success that they want. Obviously, the amount of work they put in. And I think you got to find ways. When your back's against the wall, you got to find different ways to fight, and you got that mental toughness and that mental courage. And it's not easy. It's a challenge every single day. You have to believe in one another, and you have to be. You have to go out there and fight, man, and just see what happens. You can't worry about the result as much as just the process and the work you put in and the trust in one another and trying to go out and find ways to have fun and play well together instead of letting when one thing goes bad, it just feels like the weight of the world's on them sometimes, I think, and we got to be better. We got to continue to grow, continue to mature. And listen, I'm a fighter. I always have been. I'm going to continue to fight. I love this place. I hate it. It's unacceptable. But I love where I'm at, and I'm gonna keep fighting. I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as a coach. I believe in our guys. That won't change. I love our guys. That won't change. So result-driven or not, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to work my butt off every single day. I'm going to love our guys. I'm going to coach them hard. I'm going to have fun with them, and I'm going to figure out a way to where we can get better and have the success that we want and this university deserves.
You mentioned that. Are you still confident that this offense, this team this year can continue to get better? And if so,
Obviously, I do believe that. I believe that obviously, you got to. I mean, do I believe in our guys? Absolutely, I do. Sometimes I feel like, and again, some of this is maybe youth, some of us inexperience. Sometimes I feel like I believe in them more than they believe in themselves at times. And you have to have that success, and you have to have, gain that confidence with each play you make independently and the guys around you. But you're looking out there's not a ton of veteran guys that have done a lot of veteran things. So it's learning and growing together, which is challenging at times, and that's not an excuse. Trust me, I'm not an excuse-driven guy. I don't think you're able to learn and grow and get better when you do that. And so I got to be much better. I got to obviously, I got to find different ways to get them to execute at a high level, even when we're playing the competition we are. It's just that's coach. That's what I'm supposed to do. But I do believe in this team. I do believe we can get much better. I do believe we can take care of the football. I've seen it in other weeks. The last couple of weeks we have been not good. We can't allow that to happen.
Did Jackson show you something today? Just being ready, being able to stay
Jackson
ready?
has great character, and I'm never worried about Jackson. Jackson has great character. He's going to work his tail off. He's always going to be ready. He's always going to be prepared for the moment, that he's called upon. And Mike's no different. Mike's the same, has unbelievable character himself. We have a great quarterback room. Our guys, and again, it's that way as a team. Coach Venables has done a great job with our culture. Who is in the locker room, that has never been anything I've ever second-guessed and never even questioned. I knew when or if Jackson had that next opportunity, he was going to be ready for it. And those guys handle it the right ways. They're great teammates. They're going to continue to stick together and continue to fight their ass off to make this offense what we need it to be successful. Yes, sir.
Quarterbacks going forward, Seth, what are your initial thoughts?
I'll talk with BV kind of moving through this weekend. But, again, I think both those guys have had some ups and downs. We've had some real success. We've had some real failures. I've had, some failures as a coach, and so they're going to continue to work hard. I do know that. And, my biggest thing is making sure that, I try to, again, make sure, along with the other guys, just get them in positions to where they're comfortable. They can have the success. They can play fast. Obviously, we're going to have to do some different things in order to help them. So, again, but they, just like the rest of them, that's the unfortunate thing. That's what hurts is they put in the work, they grind, they watch a ton of film, and, I know it's unfortunate when you don't have the success that you want.
how did the dynamic change with Joe John up in the booth with you?
Honestly, it's just another set of eyes. I felt like, just needed something different, obviously over the past couple of weeks, and making sure that we were seeing the same things. And I think it was great.
What are you going to prioritize as you make the decision on who's going to be the starting quarterback? You talked about both having ups and downs. Is it depending on who you play and the scheme that you're about to play against?
Well, I think one and first and foremost, you always talk within the staff, within the guys that are inside the building every single day, and you work together. And so I'm going to keep that right here between us moving forward. I believe in both those young men. I think they work extremely hard. They're going to be unbelievable players in the future. I really believe that. And I know both of them can go out and play at a high level and win us football games. There's no doubt in my mind. And so moving forward, listen, I'm not naive, and neither one of them are. They understand that there's one guy that goes out on the field every single week, other than a lot of positions. That's going to be the starter. You look at every other position on the field, and they may get pulled for a few plays, and you put the next guy in. He goes in there for a few plays, and gives the other guy a rest and can see things from the sideline. A quarterback doesn't have that privilege, and so it's always going to be the biggest talk, especially when you're not having the success that you want offensively. They understand that. Listen, they both have big shoulders. They're both going to do the right things moving forward throughout the week, and we're going to stick together.
You've coached 2 decades. Have you ever had a situation like this where you had to rebuild, build up, and have you had a success story where this has happened and you really built a team up after something like this?
Yeah, there's been moments and seasons I've gone through that have been very challenging, especially early on. That's part of, I think, most coaches that have been in this profession long enough, you're going to have some ups and downs. That's why when things are great, better humble yourself. And at the end of the day, it can go sideways real quick. But again, coaching's challenging. When you're having success or not, it's just right around the corner. You're a fine line away from, whether it's injuries, you're a fine line away from, the wrong locker room, the wrong character. I've seen a lot of different things over the years. The one thing I do appreciate here is Coach Venables does an unbelievable job with his players, the culture, the buy-in with each other. They really do love each other, work for each other, have each other's back, offense, defense, special teams. That's one thing that I know because of the base that the foundation he has built. That won't change. I guarantee our players are going to look within our locker rooms. They're not going to listen to the outside voices. Our coaching staff isn't. Yes, this is my alma mater. Obviously, I want to win championships here just like everybody else, and just like every other coach and every other player in the locker room. And it means a lot to me. But at the same time, you really got to focus in on who you go to battle with every day. You got to trust and believe in one another and have each other's back. There's going to be ups and downs throughout a season. And at the end of the day, that's what truly matters, those relationships and the trust that you put into one another.